Hello and welcome to my channel Inspiring Life Changes. My name is Colette and I'm here today to do a reading for all you Librans out there. Sun, Moon, Venus and Rising Librans. It is a general read, so it's not going to resonate with all of you. If you don't know where your planets are, your other planets, I will be putting a free natal chart astrological link in the description box, down below. My head's all over the place at the moment. I'm going to make excuses for myself right now because I've got my natal Neptune, trining Neptune, that has just turned direct, and it's turned direct over the top of my Chiron. So I'm all over the place. That I'm just going to say that, but I'm going to carry on trying to do videos and put them out there. So if I make mistakes, please forgive me, and I will try and write them as and when, if I kind of realise suddenly that I've made them, then I will hopefully be able to write them as I do it. So natal chart link in the description box down below. My email is also in the description box down below for anybody who might want to have a personal private read with me. Also, please like my videos, subscribe to my channel, because I'm really trying to grow my channel at the moment. This is what I'm aiming for, is to grow it, get it out there. And also tap the bell so that you can receive future videos as well. I'm also trying to do astrology videos too at the moment, but it's all kind of getting a little bit time consuming, shall we say. So at the moment I'm kind of a little bit behind, but I'm trying to catch up. So keep an eye on my channel if you're interested, and let's get on with your reading, Libra, which starts at the heart of the reading with the Ace of Cups, which is saying to me today that somebody has fallen in love, or somebody has been in love. This energy came into your life and you fell. That's all I can say really, is that you just fell. You just fell. But I don't get the feeling that it has particularly gone the way that you were hoping it would, Libra, from the rest of the cards that have come up here. Particularly because what's in your head and what you're aware of at the moment is the Six of Cups, which is all about nostalgia, and it's reversed as well. So this would say to me that there is this situation at the moment, possibly of where you don't particularly want to look as well. If it was up this way, I would say that you're kind of spending your time in this kind of nostalgic energy of remembering and kind of thinking to yourself, that's how it has been, but now I can make a difference. So all of these cups here reflect past situations, either relationships that you've had previous to this relationship, or situations within the relationship that have kind of led up to where you are now with this nostalgic feeling. But this cup here represents the relationship that you either are just coming out of or have been out of for a while, but this is the most recent relationship, shall we say. But reversed, it's saying to me here that you don't want to go there. You don't want to have to look at this. You don't want to kind of see the mistakes that have been made. See, I told you, Neptune, try Neptune. You really will have to excuse me today. It's kind of saying that, yeah, these to me are kind of saying, you know, that they have been mistakes. You feel as though the mistakes have been made, but you don't want to look. You don't want to go there. And the card that came out over, or with these two, with this card, with this nostalgic card, is a reversed Magician, which again is saying that you have a feeling that you didn't do things right. Maybe you feel that you didn't offer your cup to the right person. Maybe you feel as though you keep going down the same avenues and coming up with the same results, which aren't what you're looking for. Because the Magician is all about manifestation. It's about bringing the metaphysical into the physical, shall we say. So there he is, when he's upright, he's got all his kind of tools that he needs in order to create. The sword of truth, the cup of emotions, the wand of creativity. And the pentacles is kind of where he brings it all into the earth realm as well. Usually the magician stands with one hand up and one hand pointing down, which kind of represents that kind of bringing that energy from the higher realms, if you like, because everything starts with a thought. Everything starts with a belief or a thought that we can manifest something, we can make something happen in our life. And those thoughts are kind of represented by aces in our lives as well. It's kind of new energy that comes in. But this is upside down, so I get the feeling that you're not feeling that manifestation has worked out for you. And because it's a cup, because it's, and this came out first of all, because here he is with his Ace of Cups in his hand, kind of offering, he wants to offer his cup. He wants to bring his cup to somebody so that he can give it to somebody. And it is a very big cup as well. I always think how big this cup is in the Ace of Cups. You know, there's a lot of love in this cup, or this cup is needing to be filled up with love. And maybe that's something else as well, is maybe this person is trying to manifest it through other people rather than realizing that they have to do it first for themselves before they can offer. You can't, there's no good in offering an empty cup. If that cup is empty because you haven't learned how to love yourself enough in order to be able to create what you need, then you can't, well, you can offer it, but what you offer is not going to be very fulfilling for whoever it is that you offer it to. So those are the energies that came out with the Six of Cups there. And the card that came out in between the Six of Cups and the Ace of Cups is the Hermit. And if you can see here, there's a slight reflection here in this camera, I'm afraid. But if you can see here, you can see his face poking through the door, and there's all these keys above. So for me, this Hermit card is talking about kind of feeling like you're stuck in between worlds. Like you want to be somewhere other than you are. Also that how can I put this? What am I getting here? How can I put it? Yeah, stuck in between worlds. Okay, also that you're kind of on the inside looking out. So even when you're in company, shall we say, even when you're out and about and, you know, you're out with your friends or family or in social situations in general, there is a feeling that you're kind of always kind of, things are happening around you rather than you actually being involved in them. And maybe that's also something that this manifestation card is saying here. That somehow you feel as though you're not in control of that. You don't have any control over it. Because there is just this sense of this person trying to get through to something, trying to kind of break their way out. And I just get this feeling of somebody being in a social scene, but they don't really feel as though they're involved in it. Not that they shouldn't be there, although sometimes the Hermit card literally says that, you know, you need to look within and maybe kind of take time to close yourself off and not be involved with too much outside activity, because the answers that you seek, these keys up here, you can only find from within yourself as well, which could be another aspect of this. But I get this feeling that this person kind of just feels not even out in the cold, because I don't feel as though you're not being included. I kind of feel that you're not including yourself somehow. That it's almost like you're watching everything happen around you, but you're not interacting with it in a kind of the same way that you normally would. Maybe you're just kind of, you know, with this nostalgia card here, maybe you're just kind of replaying that scenario over and over, and it's kind of got a grip of you and it won't let you go, no matter where you are. So that is the energy in between those two cards. And what's down below, what's in your... this card is in the placement of the subconscious realm, the not so obvious, what you're not aware of, shall we say. And it is the card of self-confidence and self-esteem. So you may feel as though you don't have that confidence and self-esteem at the moment. Although it's not reversed, it is in the deeper realm of where you're coming from. So maybe you need to find that. Maybe that's also what this Hermit card here is saying, that you need to look within and find your self-confidence and your self-esteem, and realise that the person that's got you to where you are now is you. That other people may have helped you on your journey, but the only person that can get you to where you are by the choices that you make, for good or for bad, is you, ultimately. So maybe that's also what this Hermit is saying, is kind of like, you know, you need to look inside yourself to find the answers. All these keys up here. Find the answers. Unlock the secrets to yourself. And I think that has got something to do with this manifestation card as well. In the sense of it not, you feeling as though it's, you've not got control. It's all out of your hands. And the card that came out over the top of the Nine of Pentacles is the Seven of Swords. So this card is saying to me, because it's in the subconscious as well, well, it was kind of, again, in between these two cards. So it was between these two cards. And Seven of Swords is about a situation of kind of deceit. Things not being out in the open, things not being honest, things being kept hidden, in the sense of possibly even lies being told, covering up the truth. Sometimes it can be something that you need to do for good reasons, but I get the feeling in this card, because if you look at his face, he's not a particularly friendly character. So I get the feeling that this is kind of somebody who has taken advantage of a situation. Maybe you being too kind-hearted as well. Maybe because you really wanted to love this person. But there's a feeling that they kind of just took the pay. Took advantage, shall we say. So, what's moving away, what's been around for a while, is the Fool. And the Fool is all about taking a leap into the unknown. Again, it came out reversed. So this kind of cave thing here, for me, always represents a kind of womb type hibernation period, shall we say. Very much like this Hermit here. Very much like the Hermit energy, hiding away, kind of keeping yourself to yourself. But because it's come out upside down, I do get the feeling that you haven't kind of given yourself that time. But it's like now you kind of feel as though you need to come back out. It's really kind of about trusting your instincts. About trust in general, really. Trusting that your journey, because this is a new start, the Fool. This is a new start. This is a leap into the unknown. This is a leap into something that you've not been able to I just got a feeling that somehow this is to do with a manifestation card here as well. In the sense that this is something you haven't been able to control again. Another reason I'm saying that as well is because you also have the Justice card come out with this card here, which is very much the Libra card. And reversed, it kind of says to me that something is out of balance. Justice also for me always means that our actions or our non-actions, because even our non-actions have consequences, this card really to me is all about consequences. Because the scales here, I don't know if you can see them very well, they're quite, there's one part of it, there's the other. She's holding the scale in her hands there, and she's got the sword of truth, the flaming sword of truth here as well. And she's wearing a mask as well. Often Justice will be shown as being blindfolded, as in our law courts as well, which means that, you know, you're not supposed to have a personal opinion about these things. You're supposed to judge it on its merits of the actual case. But here, because it's reversed, I get the feeling that there is something that has been kind of knocked out of balance, or something has led something to something that's not in balance, in the sense that one action will lead to another, will lead to another. So it's kind of like, even when we don't realise it, our actions are always having consequences. And again, I think that this has got a lot to do with this as well, because our actions and our thoughts create our future, if you like. They create the future, because we bring them into our reality. And that's what this card is saying here. It's about bringing it into the reality. And so the Fool here is standing on the edge of this cliff, because he can't really stay here much longer. He's kind of woken up and he needs to kind of get on with his journey. And he can't go back down the way he came, because obviously he's climbed up this cliff. Because the ground below has kind of fallen away. So either it's a cliff or the ground has disappeared while he's been sleeping in this cave, and his world has kind of changed as he's come out, and things are very different. But I get the sense that things for you haven't really changed, and that you're wanting to go, instead of leaping off the cliff, you're wanting to go back down the way that you've just come up, which would be basically just going over the same old ground. And that's really what this card is saying here. And you came out with, or it came out with, the Three of Water, which usually is about celebration. For me, it's the honeymoon card, because it's the kind time when we kind of, the initial attraction has been there, and now it's time to kind of think about what we're going to do with this relationship. And there's two pearls here, and there's a pearl here as well, which for me always kind of represents the oyster and the irritation and how the pearl is made. If you've watched any of my other videos, you've probably heard me talk about this, but this is kind of how I see these pearls, is that although they're lustrous and beautiful, to the oyster, they just started off as a very tiny sand grain that was irritating and annoying. And so kind of these two for me represent the two individuals, the two people that create the relationship. And this is the relationship here in this particular card. This is what I'm getting today. And that she's kind of deciding, she's kind of reaching out to it with her hand. If you can see that, her hand's kind of half open and half closed. And so she's kind of pushing it away, but also kind of, she's not quite sure if she's going to accept this and continue on with this, or whether she's going to push it away because it's just not what she wants. Also today for me, this kind of came out as a question mark as well. That is a question mark kind of look about this card today. So that came out with the Fool as well. So there is a question being asked here, and it is to do with romance. It is to do with a relationship. But this is the energy that has been around for a while but is moving away, along with this energy here. So these came out together. And then there was one more card that came out after that as well, which is the Seven of Earth, Seven of Pentacles. And in this card, this character here is kind of represents, for me, he represents this fool here, if you like, who's been dancing along on his trip, on his journey. He's kind of just been enjoying himself. He's nothing, he thinks he knows where he's going. He's got an idea. He's quite kind of okay with about it. And then all of a sudden, on this journey, this little distraction comes in. And this is what this is to me. It's a distraction. And this could also be what this kind of is representing here as well. That something came in which has kind of distracted you. Because it's kind of at eye level as well. He's looking, if you see, he's looking at this. And she here is kind of, her eyes are shut. And although she's kind of balancing this on her head, there is a kind of feeling that it kind of is all too much as well. That it's got to be too much. If you see how she's kind of looking, her eyes are shut, and she doesn't look particularly as if she's enjoying herself, as if it's kind of got too much. It's all kind of a bit of a burden on her. So that could also be something that's come in, or maybe, like I said, this question mark. It just came out to me today as a question mark, and maybe this is what the question mark is, and maybe something else has come in, and you're now having to kind of question where you thought you were going, particularly with this Fool card here. Could this be a returning relationship? Could this be something new that has come in, that has distracted you? You could have even been in a relationship, but maybe not have been particularly happy in that relationship. Because really, if we're in a relationship and we're happy, we don't get distracted easily by something else coming in. So I just get this feeling that somebody is kind of with this, they haven't quite made their mind up whether they're going to accept it or whether they're going to push it away. It's kind of floating towards them. And what is moving away for you? I'll try and speed this up because the light is beginning to disappear. What's moving away, or sorry, what's coming in for you is this Chariot. And the Chariot is very much about kind of taking control, full speed ahead. And it kind of, for me, comes out with this as well. It's kind of like, you know, it's almost like you suddenly make a decision about this. This, whatever this is that comes in, Libra. This could also be the other person as well, who you have had a relationship with, or who you are still in a relationship with. And also for you cross-watchers as well, it could also be your energy, or it could be the energy of the person that you're watching for, because the energies can be exchanged. They can also be mixed as well, so sometimes you have to be quite careful. It can get a bit confusing. But yeah, this is about controlling the head and the heart, the emotions and the logic, and keeping everything balanced. And the Chariot is up the right way, so it says to me that things are going to move forward, and you are going to kind of make a choice, because I think that's really what this is about as well. This here is about making that choice as to whether you're going to put your time and your energy and effort into what you've already begun, shall we say, something that's already started and potentially still has something there, or whether you're going to allow this distraction to change the course. Are you going to jump off into the unknown? And the Chariot came out with the 8 of Swords, and the 8 of Swords was reversed. And so, as a warning, I'm going to say that if you I just get the feeling that the Chariot is kind of full steaming ahead into this kind of trap, because this is very much about kind of being trapped. If you see here, he's kind of caught on both sides, like between the devil and the deep blue sea. Here is kind of like, you know, what do I do? Which way do I turn? I don't really have a lot of choice. This is Apollo, the sun god, very patriarchal. And in Greek mythology, of course, all the gods kind of had their things that they ruled over. And Apollo was very much about kind of, you know, he was the sun god. It was all very patriarchal. And if you think of our society today, it's still very patriarchal and very sun-related. And he's been told that he has to do he has actually done something. He's already been told and he's already done it. And this is the kind of end result, is these furies here, which represent the mind. They represent the kind of craziness that we kind of put ourselves through when, you know, when we make those decisions that aren't particularly good for us. I'm not here to tell anybody whether to make a decision or not to make a decision. That's not my job. I'm just here to kind of tell you the energies that are in play here, that if you go down a certain avenue, then things can happen. But nothing is set in stone. You always have that choice. You always have the ability to change things, and things are in your control. And I think this is kind of what this magician is here to say to you. You know, what are you creating for yourself? Are you aware of what you're creating for yourself? So these furies are literally like the madness in the head that nobody else is even aware of, really. You know, you can't, when we go through those periods of times where for us, everything just seems lost. But nobody else can ever really understand what you're going through. And this is where he's at. He's kind of trapped himself within these 8 swords here. But that is an illusion, because there are no swords behind him, and all he has to do is turn around and walk away. But because this card is upside down, I'm going to say that this, if you end up in this situation here, this could be something that you're going to find it difficult to get out of. And there was a whole load of cards that came out with these 2 cards as well. Different cards. And we'll go through them one by one. King of Pentacles energy. Interestingly to me, he's kind of looking up and looking away. So he's very much about, this is the energy of Capricorn, Taurus and Virgo. And he's very much kind of about what he creates. He's very much about his physical, the physical realm, stability, foundation, down to earth, very open, very honest with who he is. But in this card, he's kind of looking up and looking away. So it's almost like he's looking for answers. That's again what I get the feeling of. He's looking for answers and looking for answers elsewhere and not necessarily inside of himself. Like he's wanting somebody else to kind of explain it to him. And the card that came out along with this, interestingly enough, is the 9 of Pentacles, but this time it's upside down. So this is saying to me that in this situation, to do with what's coming in, there will be, it's almost like, you know, you'll go from this feeling kind of proud of yourself and kind of pleased with what you've achieved and how you've achieved it, and self-esteem and self-confidence being high, to suddenly being very kind of yeah, just kind of again, it's kind of just like she's not looking at any of this here. It's like she's not even aware of any of this here. All she's looking at is this bird that's kind of hooded. It's kind of hooded, and I just get the feeling that they're just this distraction, whatever this distraction is for you, Libra, has really caught your attention. Whatever this is, whatever has come in and is distracting your mind, because it's all kind of about distractions. There's a lot of distraction here. Somebody's not being able to keep their energy on the, or their mind on the job in hand. They're being trapped by their own, well, they will be trapped by their own actions. Again, 6 of Cups here. And this card is about these both came out together. You've got the 6 of Cups twice. So this says to me that this is something that has a long, it's almost like this is going to affect a long-standing situation, something that has been happening for a long time, because the 6 of Cups is about nostalgia, it is about the past, it is about reflecting on something from our past. And these two here are kind of like very childlike, very kind of innocent energies in this card. And it came out along with the Five of Wands, which is upside down. So this is saying that there's, I get the feeling that there's a lot of people as well involved in this, that there's going to be a lot of people caught up in this. That this isn't going to just be about you and one other person or two other people even. This is going to involve other people. It's going to kind of create a situation where there's going to be kind of people kind of feeling like they've got to take sides and stand up to each other and for each other, and it's going to create a sense of disharmony, or it has already created a sense of disharmony and imbalance, and possibly even unhappiness, but that could also be your own unhappiness, Libra, or somebody else's. And then this card also came out upside down as well, which is the Page of Pentacles. Not Page of Pentacles, sorry, Page. Yeah, it is the Page of Pentacles. So I'm trying to read that back to front there. I'm thinking, why does that not say Pentacles? Anyway, Page of Pentacles has this beautiful peacock here. And if you look here, he's also got this beautiful peacock tail. And when he's upside down, he's got this kind of coin here as well. And when he's upside down, to me, he kind of represents this kind of feeling of I don't know what to do with it. I've got it, but I don't know what to do with it. What am I supposed to do with this? And being a page, it's young energy. It's a new energy. It's an energy that needs to be nurtured and looked after and taken care of. And so you may feel that you're not being taken care of, and that your needs or your value isn't being seen, isn't being recognized. Also, there could be elements in this card of somebody showing their true colours as well. That maybe what you thought with this distraction was something that was kind of beautiful, and you know, like this peacock here again, you know, distraction. He's distracted by this peacock. I just get an awful lot of distraction in this card, in this reading. So maybe what you thought was going to turn out to be very beautiful, i.e., you know, a new relationship with somebody, turns out to actually be something that kind of causes many more problems than it solves. And you're kind of like suddenly realizing, you know, you're seeing somebody's true colours. And this person here is kind of a dandy as well. I get the impression that they're quite kind of flamboyant and kind of... And this could be the attraction. The whole attraction of this person could be that they're very flamboyant, kind of larger than life kind of characters. Young, kind of easygoing energy, in the sense of, you know, they haven't had a lot of experience in life, or if they have, they haven't learned a lot of lessons from it. So they're still kind of enjoying, you know, there's playful energy here as well. But there's not a lot of wisdom. Not a lot has been learnt by this particular character. And because it's a Pentacles, again, it does represent the earth energies, Virgo, Capricorn and Taurus. So it could be somebody who has those elements in their chart, or somebody who you are aware of as having, as being one of those signs. But I do just get the feeling that there is a warning here. There is so much distraction in this reading. Libra, and possibly destruction as well, although the Tower hasn't come out, so it hasn't kind of got to that point as such. But I do get the feeling that it can possibly lead you down that road. It could possibly lead you back to feeling like that you took the wrong turn. You took the wrong turn, you took the wrong path, you took the wrong... And it's not upside down. If it was upside down, I would read this more as you kind of being stuck and not being able to move forward. But I'm not getting that. I'm getting the fact that it's up the right way and you are moving forward, or you want to move forward. This is the energy that's coming in. So you're really wanting to move forward, and you're kind of really wanting to go with this distraction here. And so we have one, let me just look, 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah, there's 4 cards here. They're all showing a kind of distracted energy. 1, 2, 3 and 4. So, Libra. Again, with this Hermit as well, this kind of king, oh not king, sorry, but this face kind of peering out through this door. And maybe also something to do with being trapped as well here as well. Maybe you're feeling trapped in this situation, or the situation that you're already in, where you feel as though you gave your heart, you gave your cup to somebody, and maybe it wasn't taken as seriously as you would have liked it to have been. So Libra, that is where I'm going to leave your reading today, mainly because it's getting quite dark out there, so I wanted to kind of get this done as soon as possible. So if you do like my video, please thumbs it up for me, subscribe to my channel, tap the bell if you're wanting to get any more. My PayPal link is up for anybody who would like to give me a donation, be greatly received as well. And also if anybody wants a private personal reading, I can do that. Send me an email and you can pay through the PayPal link, and that would be great to hear from somebody. So if you feel that this would help anybody else out there as well, anybody who you know who might be going through a similar situation at this moment in time, any other Libras or anybody else in general, because this is a general reading and it can relate to your moon, Venus and rising signs as well. Before I forget, also I have put other messages out there, so if you feel that this doesn't resonate for you as a Libra, you might want to go and check out those other signs and other messages and see if there's anything in there for you. And at that I will leave it for now. So thank you very much, Libra, for listening. Please take care, and I'll see you again soon. Take care.